Listen carefully, for today I bring you a story so full of secrets, lies, and justice that you will not want to leave until the very last word. What would you do if the person you trusted most in the world, your own mother or your own twin sister, turned against you? Would you fight back, or would you let destiny decide? Stay with me until the end, for this story will make you wonder about loyalty, betrayal, and the hand of divine justice. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leave your thoughts in the comments, because your support is what keeps these powerful stories alive. The story begins in a small town where a young woman named Linda lived with her mother, Margaret, and her twin sister, Dora. Though they shared the same face, they were nothing alike. Linda had a heart as gentle as morning dew and a mind full of dreams about education and a brighter future. Dora, on the other hand, was wild and careless, chasing after comfort and riches without shame or effort. Their mother, Margaret, instead of guiding both daughters with fairness, poured all her affection and pride into Dora, while Linda was treated like a burden. Many days, Linda would sit quietly, asking herself what she had done to deserve her mother's coldness. But deep inside, she believed one day the truth would speak for her. One hot afternoon, Linda walked back from the river carrying water when she noticed something strange near the bush path. A figure lay on the ground, breathing weakly. Fear gripped her, but compassion was stronger. She dropped her pot, rushed over, and found a man, blood trickling down his forehead, his clothes torn. Without thinking twice, she tore part of her wrapper to stop his bleeding. "Sir, please stay awake," she whispered. The man groaned, his eyes opening slowly. Who are you?" His voice was weak, almost broken. Linda gave him water, wiped his face, and helped him to a nearby hut abandoned long ago. She nursed him with herbs, food, and patience, visiting secretly every day. The man's name was Michael. Days turned into weeks, and Michael regained his strength. Though he said little about his past, his manners showed he was no ordinary man. He carried himself with dignity, his words gentle yet powerful. When he looked at Linda, he saw purity, kindness, and a beauty that went far beyond her face. Linda, though shy, felt a warmth she had never known. One evening, when Michael could finally walk with strength again, he held Linda's hands. "Linda," he said softly, "you saved my life. I came here broken, but your heart has given me a second chance. I must return to my family soon, but I promise you, I will come back. And when I do, I will find you, for I cannot imagine my future without you." Linda's eyes filled with tears. No one had ever spoken to her with such sincerity. She nodded, though her heart trembled with both joy and fear. Michael left quietly the next morning, leaving behind only his promise. But in this world, goodness does not stay hidden. Dora noticed Linda sneaking out every day during Michael's recovery. Suspicion grew in her eyes like a fire. She questioned her sister, but Linda only smiled and said little. Soon, Dora discovered the truth, and she ran to their mother with news that made Margaret's greedy heart beat faster. A rich man? A man who promised to return? To Margaret, this was not Linda's blessing, but Dora's opportunity. "Listen to me," Margaret whispered to Dora that night. "When this man returns, he must not see Linda. He must see you. You will become the bride, and Linda, well, we will deal with her." Dora smiled wickedly, her jealousy burning. Time passed, and Michael returned as he promised. Dressed in fine clothes, arriving with guards and horses, he came not as a stranger, but as a wealthy, respected man. The town buzzed with excitement. Margaret rushed forward, pretending to be a loving mother, while Dora dressed herself in Linda's clothes, fixing her hair to mirror her sister's look. When Michael arrived at their home, Dora stepped out, smiling shyly. "Linda," Michael whispered, relief flooding his eyes. He believed it was her, the woman who saved his life. Dora lowered her gaze, pretending humility. But the real Linda. She was locked away in a small storeroom at the back of the house, her cries muffled by thick walls. "Mama, please," she begged. "Don't do this. He is not for Dora, he promised me." But Margaret turned a deaf ear, her heart poisoned by greed. The wedding was planned quickly, and the whole town celebrated what they thought was the union of Michael and the humble savior, Linda. Only Linda herself knew the truth, and her tears fell silently in the dark room where she was hidden. Dora wore the bridal gown, smiling proudly, while Michael's eyes sparkled with love and gratitude. But something deep inside him stirred, a quiet unease. After the wedding, life in Michael's grand home began to change. At first, Dora played her role well, pretending to be gentle and kind. But her true nature could not stay hidden. She grew lazy, demanding, and harsh with the servants. She cared nothing for Michael's heart, only for his wealth. Michael, confused, began to remember the Linda he had met. The tender hands, the patient heart, the soft words that healed him. How could the woman before him now be so different? His mind wrestled with doubt. Meanwhile, Margaret feared the truth might come out. Linda, still locked away, grew weak from hunger and despair. At last, Margaret decided to silence her forever. She arranged for men to take Linda far into the forest and leave her there, never to return. But destiny has eyes, and the hand of God does not sleep. In the forest, Linda prayed with her last strength, and as the men prepared to abandon her, a storm rose suddenly. Lightning struck a tree near them, and in terror, the men fled, leaving Linda tied to a rock. Rain poured down, washing her wounds, and a mysterious traveler appeared, cutting her free. She fainted in his arms, but when she awoke, she realized she had been brought to safety. Michael, meanwhile, noticed Dora slipping in her lies. She could not remember the herbs she had once used to heal him. She did not know the quiet prayers Linda used to whisper. One night, he questioned her. "Do you remember the night you tore your wrapper to stop my bleeding?" Dora froze. She laughed nervously, changing the subject. But Michael's suspicion grew sharper. He began to search quietly, asking questions in the town, and slowly, whispers reached him about another sister, kind and humble, who had vanished. Driven by truth, Michael searched until fate brought him to Linda again. Weak but alive, she stood before him, her eyes full of tears. "Michael," she whispered. He embraced her, his heart breaking with both relief and anger. He realized he had been deceived. With evidence in hand, he returned to confront Dora and Margaret. The truth came out like a flood. Dora screamed, denying everything, but the town judged her harshly. Margaret tried to plead, but her greed was clear for all to see. The law took them both away, Dora to prison for fraud, Margaret for her wicked schemes. Justice had spoken. Michael then turned to Linda, taking her hand before the people. "This is the woman who saved my life. This is the woman I love." Cheers rose from the crowd, and for the first time in her life, Linda felt seen, valued, and free. Their marriage was not only a union of two hearts, but a celebration of truth over lies, of justice over wickedness. And so Linda's story reminds us that no matter how long lies may last, truth will always rise. No matter how deep betrayal may cut, divine justice will always heal. My dear friends, what would you have done if you were Linda? Could you forgive your own mother and sister for such betrayal? Tell me in the comments, because I want to hear your thoughts. And if you have enjoyed this story, please subscribe so that more tales of wisdom and truth will reach your heart. Watch other videos on the channel. Never forget, life may test us, but the hand of God is never blind. Stay with us for more stories, and thank you for listening today.